As business owners, the end of the year can seem just as chaotic, if not more so, than the first 3 quarters of the year. And while you may have every intention and desire to sit down and set your goals for 2019, the thought of taking 3 hours out of your day to sit down and journal or jot down these SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, just doesn't seem like a productive use of time. And let's be honest here. Once you have taken the time to write down these goals, how many of you actually store away the journal that you've written them down on or worksheet and keep it on a bookshelf or in your computer, never to glance at it again until the end of the year when you retrieve it and go through and see how well you did or didn't do in meeting these goals? Listen, I get it. Goal setting can seem pretty daunting, especially when you feel like you are just trying to get by on the day-to-day stuff with running a business and keeping up with your social and personal life. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a better way for us to set goals and set ourselves up for success in 2019. Hi y'all, I'm Vivian Walton, the Seasoned Marketer, and my channel is about sharing marketing tips, tools, and tactics with resourceful business owners. And in this video, I'll share with you an easy and intentional way to set yourself up for success and set goals for 2019 in both your business and personal life. Today, I'm sharing with you an easy and intentional way for you to set goals for both your business and personal life going into 2019. Now, this process is going to be divided into 2 phases. First phase is reflection, and the second is projection. Now, I've selected these words very carefully, so here's why. In the reflection portion of this process, you're taking a much more meaningful look at 2018 than simply taking out that sheet of paper you filled out at the beginning of the year and going through it and figuring out where you succeeded and where you failed. Reflection allows you to give serious thought and consideration to factors that contributed maybe to your success or failure on certain goals. It also takes into account the way you feel once you've reached a goal. So if you did reach a goal, the truth is sometimes it doesn't feel like an accomplishment because you doesn't feel like you're moving forward. So maybe you set the wrong type of goal for yourself. And these are all important things to figure out during the reflection phase. Now, there is a big disclaimer here. In order for you to set yourself up with the right mindset to go into 2019 and achieve your goals, you have to be completely open and honest with yourself when you are doing the reflection phase. Now, this means being absolutely truthful about what is good for you and what isn't, what makes you happy and what doesn't, and what you can and can't control. Now, I want you to remember that the reflection phase is for you and you alone. You can share your goals all you want, but during reflection, this needs to be an activity that you do alone so that you can be open and honest about what happened throughout your year in review. And while we tend to gloss over the negative stuff, it's really key that we notice and acknowledge that there is a complementary role to both our negative experiences and our positive experiences. So definitely take the time to sit down and reflect and think about those negative experiences. The second phase to this process is projection. Projection isn't as much about writing a goal down and having an end date in mind as much as it is about promising yourself that you are going to take the time, the resources, and the initiative to complete the promise that you're making to yourself. It's a little like reverse engineering. So you're speaking it into existence. I'm saying, I'm going to launch an online course. And then I'm reverse engineering and figuring out, okay, what do I need to do? What resources do I have at my disposal to get me to that goal? Now, I know that a lot of you are thinking, well, isn't that the same as writing the goal down and having an end date in mind? But this gives you the flexibility to improvise. The truth is, as business owners, we probably know this better than anybody else. We can acknowledge and say that we do not have all the answers and that we're really good at learning as we go. And not that I condone procrastination, but how many of us have written down goals with an end date in mind only to get to that end date and have 50%, 75% of that goal completed, but it's not the target date we had in mind. So then we don't go through with it and we just say, we'll wait until next year. Most of us do that. And sometimes it's way more important for us to actually complete the goal than to complete it by a certain date. So really, during this projection time, it allows you that flexibility. You're telling yourself and speaking it into existence, here are the things I'm going to do for 2019, and I'm a little flexible on the dates. So let's get started and talk about the questions you need to be asking yourself during these two phases. Now, what I have a tendency of doing is, because a worksheet doesn't typically work for me, I don't ever go back and reference it throughout the year. I do actually keep notes on my phone, and so I use a app that's called Writer Plus, and it allows me to store notes in there. Now, I don't ever sit there and write out long sentences. I'll do keywords or just ideas, things that I want to do throughout 2019. And believe it or not, I actually go back and reference this way more than I do any type of notebook or journal, which is great because the phone's always in my purse. All right, so let's talk about reflection. I want you to answer these questions honestly. Theme. Did you stick to your theme or word for 2018? Now, some of you may or may not do this, but I highly encourage you to pick a theme or a word that you refer back to throughout the year. It really does help set intention of how you go about your day and really the goals and the things that you decide to invest your time and energy in throughout the year. Some of the words I've seen people use are abundance, rooted, intention. Now, if I'm answering this question, my word was sow. S-O-W. And the reason I chose sow is because I knew it was going to be a year of sitting down and investing and taking the time to build, process, really so that in the future I can build a business that I want. And this took a lot of just being able to say, you know what, I'm going to have to learn a bunch because I don't have all the answers, and I'm using forms that maybe I'm not 100% comfortable with quite yet. But I was willing to invest the time and the resources to do that, and also, the patience, making sure that I didn't just look at my numbers all the time and be discouraged by that. I know that this year I was building so that in the future years I can have a profitable business. Now, ways that this showed up for me specifically is I actually took the time to write down processes. I've set up spreadsheets that I can track information on so that I'm not having to redo work over and over again, allowing me to become a little more efficient. I developed a pretty consistent posting schedule for YouTube and the videos, and I spent countless hours and evenings really reading and researching things that would help my business in the long run. Energy. What kind of energy did you bring into 2018? This is not just with yourself, whether you're in a bad mood all the time, but also how you interact with other people. How were your romantic relationships? How were your friendships? How did you deal with your family members? Personally, I'm able to say that although I feel like I brought a lot of optimism to my relationships, I also feel like I spent a lot of unnecessary time on borderline gossipy stuff, which just makes me cringe altogether. But that's an area and opportunity when I'm reflecting. I have to be honest about myself that I did spend time doing that. And so I definitely want to cut that out moving forward. In my work, I can honestly say that I really did a good job of remaining or learning how to be flexible. So I have a full-time job on top of these videos I do, and we're in a period of growth. Now, that growth means that sometimes I don't have all the information I need at the get-go, but I've gotten really good this year at being flexible and not letting that annoy me. Instead, I just kind of roll with the punches and figure out an alternative way to get the job done. And I'm really proud about that energy and what I was able to bring into 2018 in that realm. What served you really well in 2018? Now, this may seem like a really broad question, but what you're looking for here are contributing factors that really set you up for success. So this could be friendships that maybe inspired you on a daily or weekly basis. It just made you a better person. Or maybe it could be a new exercise regimen that you started that allows you to feel really good and to show up every day. Or for some of you, this may be something as simple as you started taking more time on a Saturday, let's say 20 minutes, to soak in the tub and read. And that made you feel better prepared for Sunday or for the week ahead. What didn't serve you well in 2018? This could be anything from friendships. Maybe you just had friendships that were really draining, that didn't allow you to do or accomplish a lot more of the stuff that you wanted to. And those can be really hard decisions to make. For others, it might be something as simple as, you know, I drink a glass of wine every night. I don't think that drinking a glass of wine has contributed or really served me well in 2018. So moving forward, I'm probably going to take a look at that and change that habit. Theme. What is the one word or theme that you want to resonate with you for all of 2019? For me, it's going to be rebirth. I want to really get to know myself this year and be in a mode of discovery when it comes to things that I like or things that I'm capable of. I don't want to have any prior connotations of who I am going into this year. So I want to be open-minded and just give a lot of different things a try. What do you want to invite into your life for 2019? I'm a big believer that your mindset and attitude shapes the way you move through life and what you see. So if you're going out there and you think that people are just passing you by all the time, well then I hate to tell you, you're going to be less prone to see the opportunities that are right in front of you. Now this is a really important question because it is going to change the way that you do life on a daily basis for this coming year. It's even going to change the people that you surround yourself with. So think about it. So many times we don't recognize that the people that we are interacting with on a daily basis have a lot to do with what we are inviting into our own lives. When I answer this for myself, I know that I absolutely want to invite more of a selflessness mentality. And the ways that I can do that throughout the year is listening more than I talk and really paying attention to what people's needs are. And I feel like if I can just serve people, then everything else will fall into place. But that requires that I push aside a lot of these habits that I have to want to think about what I want to do or what's best for me at the time. What are you willing to let go of in 2019? The truth is, we carry stuff for years sometimes. Do yourself a favor and allow yourself to get rid of any old ideas or people that no longer serve you. And yes, I said people. Give yourself permission to let go of toxic people that may be in your life. You have such limited time throughout the day. Be sure that you are intentional about who you are giving your time to and the energy that you are putting out there. I hope that you take the time this week to reflect back on your 2018 and to really think about what you want your 2019 to look like. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Simply hit the subscribe button below. Also, if you want more marketing tips, tools, or tactics, feel free to visit my website at theseasonedmarketer.com. Now I want to turn it over to you. I shared with you what my theme or word was for 2019, rebirth. Have you selected yours yet? If you have, let us know and share it with us. Simply drop it below in the comments section.